What's up, YouTube? This is Scott Seuss. That's what she said. We are back on a live video, and we're going to discuss that you guys need to get ready for higher grocery bills for the rest of this mother beeping year. The latest spike in grocery bills comes on the back of prices that rose during last year's pandemic stockpiling and never went down. So, what that means for you shoppers out there is you're going to have higher bills. Shoppers had better start budgeting more for the groceries according to the latest consumer price index, which shows prices are increasing and they're likely to keep going up. I bought 16 items today earlier from Walmart and I spent $247 and nothing was over $34. The monthly consumer price index released Tuesday morning by the Bureau of Labor Statistics showed that a 0.6% increase in March, the largest one-month increase in nearly a decade. Over the past year, prices have increased by 2.6% overall. And the problem is you're not only going to get higher prices, but you can get smaller quantities. If you go back 3, 4, 5, 7 years ago, if you look at, for example, a can of soup, the can of soup was this tall. And then you go back, say, for example, 2 years ago, the can of soup shrunk, but the price went up. And then this year and then next year, the price of the cans is going to go up even higher. Maybe a couple of cents, but it's going to go up higher, and the cans going to get smaller. Trust me, if you think about it, if you remember correctly, you'll realize that I'm telling you the truth. Anyways, also gas skyrocketed by 9.1% last month. Since February, prices of fruits and vegetables have risen by nearly 2%, which doesn't make a lot. But when you're paying 2% for this, 5% for this, 6% for this, 9% for this, it's going to hit your bank account, boo. Anyways, and the index for meats, poultry, fish, and eggs has risen by 0.4%, excuse me, according to the government figures, which is going to hurt your bank account, boo-boo. Alright, so the spike comes on the back of prices that has already risen during last year's pandemic stockpiling and supply chain disruptions and never went down. Consumers are noticing their inflating receipts. So the problem is that the stores only keep a certain amount of stockpile in the store, and they only have that amount based on what they think they will need to get through the month. And then the computer system automatically sends an order to a company. The company then puts it on a truck, brings it to the store. The problem is with COVID-19, all that was disrupted, so that is also making everything higher. Anyways, outside a supermarket in Long Island, New York, this guy said, I'm not going to say his name, that prices has risen just too much. We used to buy this stuff for $30, now it's $60, he said. He has tried to adapt when shopping for his family by buying only essential items and avoiding name brands. That means skipping meat and fresh fish. It's a shortage, people. It's a shortage. Before the pandemic began, the national average for a pound of bacon in January 2020 was $4.72, which I find is fucking ridiculous. For a pound of bacon for $4.72, and you're paying $13 for what, 8 pieces of bacon? I mean, I like pigs and like bacon, but I just stopped eating breakfast. I mean, it's making my hips look good though, so that's fine. Anyways, by last month, the price has soared up to $5.11 for a pound of bacon, according to the exclusive supermarket point of sale data from Nielsen IQ. Ground beef is up $5 to $26 a pound from $5.02, and bread is up to $2.66 a loaf from $2.44. The hikes are more acute in certain areas. Boston and Philadelphia are paying nearly $1 more per pound of bacon, while Chicago is up by 70 cents. Several items spiked over 5% at once in Dallas, including eggs, chicken breasts, fresh ground beef, and sandwich bread. And that's the bad thing, because like Dallas Texas just suffered. They're suffering tornadoes, every weekend, tornado break back to back. We got COVID going on, and we got, nasty storms, hail, wind, rain, the power outages in Texas. People were freezing to death in the fucking chair, and now they can't even get chicken breast, fresh ground beef, or sandwich bread because they don't have a job. Coronavirus took it for them, and then always the employers are not hiring people back because they don't have money to hire people. It's pretty fucking shitty out there, man. I'm just telling y'all that The changes at checkout are also pressuring grocery profit margins. Manufacturers have cut back on promotions and coupons to moderate demand since the stock up period in last year in March. A typical month, 31.5% of units are sold on promotion. In most recent period of March, 28.6% of units were sold in promotion. This has led to shoppers having fewer opportunities to take advantage of sales in the stores, increasing total cost. Economists say costs for rising gas prices, a spike in commodity prices, and increased imports by China, heavy Midwest crop damage, and other factors are all getting passed on to the retail consumers. That's you. Supply chains are largely inefficient at this time, again due to coronavirus amongst other things. They're still dealing with the fallout from the pandemic, gas prices, and transportation costs that get passed on to the consumer, especially for items like bread, are only going to keep driving up, increasing faster than oil production. So grocery prices are likely to remain on the higher end of estimates for at least the rest of the year. Producers may eventually increase their output to capture the heightened demand, but that won't happen until towards the end of the year. The White House said on Monday that it expects inflation to go up and not go back down. So, of course, you know Joe Biden's going to jack everything up, jack gas prices up, jack fucking food and bread up. And he says he expects inflation to go up even higher. So that means quantities are smaller, the prices are more expensive. Because it's all a part of a plan. And the plan is something I'm not going to discuss in this video, and I will one day. But the three temporary factors are driving the increase, or Jared Bernstein and Ernie Tedeschi, members of the President Joe Biden's Council of Economic Advisors, wrote in a blog post, the rate of increase looks faster when it rises from a lower level while supply chains have been disrupted and demand for services has built up. We think the likeliest outlook over the next several months is for inflation to rise modestly and to fade back to a lower pace thereafter, and as actual inflation begins to run more in line with longer run expectations, increasing from historically low to more normal levels. These are not normal levels, man. The price of bread used to be 5 cents. So I don't want to hear this nonsense. The price increase could stop food insecurity at a time when more than 9 million people are out of work. The pennies can add up week by week, family by family. The problem is also Joe Biden's administration has decided to cancel all the food banks that were dealing with the pandemic food banks. So people will no longer be getting that anymore. So I'm just going to assume that a lot of motherfuckers are going to be starving. A lot of children are going to be starving. And food is a necessity. Lower income households spend a larger share of their income on food. You know, when you see food prices increase, it affects lower income households more than it affects normal people like myself. I'm fortunate, and I'm not broke, and I'm doing okay. Budget conscious shoppers, you know, you guys can try perennial advice for reducing your bills with a couple of digital twists. You can sign up for coupon aggregator apps like Flip or price comparison app like Basket. I'm not affiliated either one of those places, which also includes online prices. Take pictures of items with their prices to help remember what the average prices are, especially for costlier items like olive oil and nuts. And if the price sticker doesn't show the unit price, use your phone's calculator. Other classic advice still works, like shopping based on a list to avoid impulsive shopping. I impulsive shop. I'm guilty of it. I went to the store to buy dog food for my Anatolian Shepherd Kangal mixes, whatever the hell they are. And I went to buy dog food and paper towels, and I ended up spending $230 last night. I spent another $300 night before that, another $200 night before that, and I really have nothing to show for it except for a big bag of dog food and some paper towels. Then I've already went through 2 rolls because my dog's like peeing on the floor. When it's raining outside, the floor rains a lot these days. Anyways, you need to have a little bit more flexibility if some of your favorites have become expensive. You know, you need to try the great value brands from Walmart, for example. Try the name store, you know, the store name brands instead of going with the craft brands or whatever. You can try to cut back. You can try to go different recipes and substitute and not cook that much stuff. That would be expensive. You can go with cheaper shit. But I'm just letting you guys know that you need to get ready for higher grocery bills for at least the rest of this year, if not next year also. For example, the price of lumber has skyrocketed. It used to be about 2x, 4x8 for, you know, $2-3, and now it's $6 to $40 for one 2x4. So I hope that you guys are prepared for this food crisis that we're about to have, because it's going down, and it's going down right now. If you don't believe me, go to your store tomorrow, look at the prices, and then look at the money in your wallet and see, do you want to buy gas? Do you want to buy cigarettes? Do you want to buy beer? Do you want to buy meth? Or do you want to buy food for your kids? I'm going to recommend food for your kids, and I would recommend that y'all should probably stock up. Great chat.